Most animals only hear what is near: footsteps, wind, distant rustling. But on that strange autumn night, the fox named Rune heard something impossible, the sound of a single leaf falling, from half a valley away. It wasn't just a sound. It felt like someone whispering his name. When Rune lifted his head, the forest exhaled around him. Leaves drifted downward in gentle spirals, but among their soft descent was one leaf that fell with a voice. A voice only he could hear. "Come, little fox." Rune froze. His heart thumped like a drum. No predator spoke like that. No wind carried words. Yet the leaf's faint echo tugged at him, pulling him toward the ancient oak at the edge of the glade. Every part of Rune wanted to turn back, yet curiosity burned brighter. As he followed the unseen call, each step made the forest feel wider, older, aware of him in a way it never had before. When he reached the oak, the ground was carpeted with newly fallen leaves. And there, lying alone at the center, was the golden leaf that called to him. He leaned in. It whispered again. And that was the moment Rune's quiet life ended, and his life as the fox who heard destiny begin. Animals hear danger. They hear movement. Rune, however, heard meanings. The next morning, as leaves drifted lazily from the branches above, Rune discovered something terrifying. Each falling leaf carried a tiny whisper of the future. A thud, a flutter, a tone, every sound revealed something hidden. A leaf fell near him with a trembling note. He listened. "The river will rise tonight." Rune blinked. Impossible. Rivers didn't send warnings. But curiosity again pushed him forward. He ran to the creek, and found the beavers building their dam too low. If the rain came, their entire home would be swept away. When Rune warned them, the beavers stared in disbelief. Yet something in the young fox's urgency convinced them, and minutes after they rebuilt the dam, a sudden storm burst over the forest. By dawn, Rune's name spread like wildfire. The fox who hears fate. The fox who listens to the leaves. But not all attention is kind. That night, as Rune settled beneath the oak, he heard a leaf fall with a strange, distorted tone. Not a warning. Not a truth. A lie. And lies, he realized, were far more dangerous. The leaf fell beside Rune, but the echo came from tomorrow. It was the first time he heard an echo from the future. A faint ripple of panic. A squeak of fear. And the moment it reached him, Rune sprinted toward the sound. He found Maple the squirrel clinging to a branch, trembling. "Something is coming," she whispered. "I felt it in the bark." Rune listened again. Another leaf drifted downward, producing a sharp, splintering tone, like cracking wood. The branch. "Jump." Rune barked. Maple hesitated for half a second too long. The branch snapped. Rune hurled himself forward, catching her mid-fall and tumbling into the moss below. When Maple recovered, she stared at him with wide, awestruck eyes. "You knew." Rune didn't answer. Because the truth troubled him, the leaves had warned him. But he also sensed something else, some presence interfering, bending the flow of fate. When they parted ways, another leaf fell behind him. A whisper. "He is not ready yet." Rune spun around, fur bristling. No one was there. But someone, or something, was watching. A single false whisper could destroy trust. Rune learned that the hardest way. That evening, a leaf fell with urgent rhythm, fast, sharp, frantic. "Lead the rabbits east. Now. Danger is coming from the west." Rune didn't question it. He rushed to the rabbit's burrow and guided them through the trees. Trusting him completely, they followed. But when they reached the clearing to the east, Rune froze. There were traps. Iron snares hidden beneath the leaves. Hunters. The rabbits halted just in time, but terror filled their eyes. Rune's stomach twisted. Someone had used the falling leaves, his only guide, to lure him into harming the very creatures he tried to protect. He listened again. Another leaf fell. No meaning. No whisper. No truth. Just silence. Something had severed his connection. Shaking, Rune returned to the oak, desperate for answers, but the great tree stood silent, its branches rigid as if holding its breath. Then, from far above, a feather drifted down, white as winter. Silent. Weightless. And yet Rune heard it louder than any falling leaf. Because it wasn't a leaf. It was a message. When the feather touched the ground, the entire forest seemed to pause. Rune looked up, and there, perched on a branch as pale as moonlight, was an owl with silent wings. Eldrin, the owl of ages, guardian of forgotten secrets. Unlike other birds, Eldrin made no sound when he moved. Yet Rune heard a voice wrap around him like a soft wind. Little fox, your gift is not meant for small destinies. Rune's ears flattened. Someone lied through the leaves. Someone almost hurt the rabbits. Eldrin's eyes shimmered like ancient mirrors. Not someone. Something. Rune swallowed. Why me? Why can I hear them? The owl blinked slowly. Because the forest chose you before you were born. And because a storm unlike any before is coming. A storm of red leaves. Rune felt a chill run through his fur. Eldrin continued. Your power is a doorway. Others can push through it, twist it. If you do not master it soon, every creature here will suffer. The owl spread his vast wings, scattering a swirl of silent feathers. Meet me at the great oak's roots at sunrise, Eldrin said. There is a memory buried there that belongs to you. Then he vanished into the night. Rune trembled, not from fear of Eldrin, but from fear of what he might learn. At sunrise, the great oak glowed gold beneath the first light. Rune approached cautiously, Eldrin perched above like a silent sentinel. Why here? Rune murmured. Eldrin nodded toward the roots. Touch the earth. Listen. Rune pressed his paw to the soil, and a wave of sound exploded through him. Not noise. Not chaos. Memories. The ground hummed with the voices of foxes long gone. Their whispers twisted around him like warm wind. A bloodline chosen by the forest. A promise made generations ago. A fox who would someday hear the heartbeats of leaves, and protect the balance of nature. Rune's breath hitched. So this power came from them? Yes, Eldrin answered. But it awakened early in you because fate is shifting. Something dark pulls at the future, trying to claim your gift. Rune flinched. The false leaf. The trap. Eldrin's eyes hardened. And that was only the beginning. Just then, a gust of cold wind tore through the clearing. Leaves tore free from the branches in a violent swirl. But Rune's heart dropped for a different reason. Not one of them made a sound. Silence. A silence so heavy it pressed into Rune's bones. He stared at the leaves swirling above him, thousands of them, yet not one produced even the faintest whisper. The forest was mute. Breathless. Wrong. Eldrin's feathers ruffled. This is the quiet before destruction. Rune shook his head. If the leaves can't speak, how do I know what's coming? You don't, Eldrin replied. You must feel it instead. But Rune wasn't ready. His power had always come through sound, tiny, delicate, guiding tones. Without them, he felt blind. Then a tremor shook the earth. Not a natural tremor, this one pulsed with intention, like footsteps of something colossal moving beneath the soil. Animals across the forest bolted from their nests. Deer dashed through the underbrush. Wolves howled in confusion. Birds took to the sky in frantic spirals. Rune swallowed hard. What is it? Eldrin closed his eyes. The enemy of the forest. The one who twisted the leaves against you. And now it wants the one thing it cannot have. A harsh wind cut through them. Your gift. Rune's heart pounded. The storm was coming. The sky darkened. The first leaf fell, deep crimson like spilled wine. Then another. And another. Soon, an entire shower of red leaves spiraled down, each glowing with a faint ember-like pulse. Rune forced himself to listen. To truly listen. At first, he heard nothing. But then, a faint vibration. A heartbeat hidden inside every red leaf. A chorus of cries. Not warnings. Not futures. Please. Help us. Rune's fur bristled. They're alive. Eldrin nodded solemnly. The storm carries the voices of dying trees from the northern forest. It is the work of the Shadowroot, the entity feeding on the life of the land. The wind howled. Rune staggered back as the red leaves swarmed around him, pressing against his fur like desperate hands. Each leaf begged him to be heard. Rune gritted his teeth, focusing, letting the storm's chaos settle into patterns. For the first time, he didn't just hear the leaves. He understood them. Find us. Free us. You are the one chosen. Rune looked to Eldrin. I'm ready. Where normal foxes heard crunching leaves, Rune heard symphonies. But now, standing before the crimson storm, something changed inside him. He didn't hear the leaves. He became their voice. The red leaves encircled him, swirling like a living cyclone. Their whispers poured into him, memories, pain, warnings, directions. For a heartbeat, the world blurred. He felt thousands of roots beneath the soil. Heard the rivers groan. Felt the sky tremble. Eldrin watched with reverence. You've crossed the threshold, Rune. You are no longer listening to the forest. You are speaking for it. Suddenly, Rune knew exactly where the Shadowroot was hiding, deep in the northern hollow, twisting the life force of the land. But he also understood something darker. The creature wanted him because Rune was the only fox in centuries capable of channeling the forest's soul. The leaves quieted. A final whisper pulsed through him. If you fall, the forest falls. Rune lowered his head, determination burning in his chest. Then he ran. Rune reached the northern hollow as shadows twisted like smoke around the roots of dying trees. At the center stood the Shadowroot, a mass of black vines pulsing with hunger. Red leaves clung to its surface, their voices weak, fading. Rune stepped forward. The Shadowroot struck first, shooting tendrils toward him, trying to drain his gift. Rune braced himself, letting his senses open fully. He listened, not to danger, but to destiny. A single golden leaf fell behind him. Its sound rang like a bell. And the forest surged through him. Light burst from Rune's paws, flowing into the ground and through the roots. The red leaves rose around him, swirling faster and faster until they ignited in a brilliant wave of life. The Shadowroot writhed, shrieked, and finally disintegrated into dust. Silence followed. But this time, it was peaceful. Leaves began falling again, soft, gentle, singing like they once did. Rune lifted his head, breathing in the harmony only he could hear. Eldrin landed beside him. "Not all heroes roar," the owl said softly. "Some listen." Rune smiled. He was no longer just the fox who could hear the sound of fallen leaves. He was the fox who saved them.